Yeah, I only wear Garuda. Like,
Yeah.
apart from the jockey underwear, I wear just Garuda pretty much. We don't want to make the shit. We priced it in a way that we don't want it to sell. Honestly, I do not wish to make this piece. I think people have ruined it. People have ruined everything, to be fair. How much innovation can you really pull off, right? When the canvas is always the same.
Previously, Suhail, you said that you hate the over-intellectualization of fashion.
Yeah.
You hate online fashion discourse,
Yeah.
and that fashion podcasts should stop.
Yeah. I think we should stop producing podcasting equipment in general. I think there's enough podcasts in general about every topic.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to the fashion bit, it is just clothing, right? And like,
Yeah. So it's not that deep for
it's
you?
not, well, I mean, I make my livelihood off it. But at the end of the day, we always come back to the same thing, right? Which is that clothing is this thing that, like, you're born and you're wrapped in fabric, and you die and you're wrapped in fabric. So it's something that you have to interact with every day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need to like over intellectualize or like pontificate on it so much as a result. And I mean, most people don't even design clothing that well, but they want to talk about it all day. It makes no sense.
But do you think it's because people want to participate in the discourse just to feel good about themselves?
No, I mean, to be fair, I know nothing about music, but I still like to talk to my friends about music. It's fine. But it just becomes like an issue when all of the negativity related to fashion comes from people who aren't within the industry and are consuming from the industry, right? Like, I think the most of the negativity is from comment sections, right?
Yeah.
Who aren't actually actively like making clothes or anything. And the amount of like creators that you see on any platform that are using like negative opinion about fashion or fashion creators, like as in people who make clothes, to garner their own fame. That's the thing where it gets like a little hairy, right? So,
do you think it's a lot of performative people in the fashion space?
I mean, it is baseline a performative thing, right?
Posers.
Like, if it wasn't performative, everyone would wear the exact same thing, like a spandex suit, right? Because the most efficient thing. But like,
fashion itself is performative.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Aside from like uniform in like the military or like all these sort of categories, it is performative in that sense, right? And even then, when you take military clothing outside of the military and wear it day to day, you're making a statement with it, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing that is not performative in one setting becomes completely performative in the other setting, right? So yeah, I mean, again, like, you could just walk around naked. Yeah. Right. Like, if it wasn't like illegal or whatever.
Weird. Yeah. You said that clothes aren't going to save you if you're a shitty person.
Yeah.
Verbatim, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, in fact, I believe
that.
So,
of course, you're talking about like tying consumption to identity, which happens a lot these days, and your own branding. Is that true? Fashion hosts a lot of shitty people?
I mean, like, I don't think that it's about fashion, right? Like, it's about like, no amount of consumerism is going to save you. Yeah. Right? From like the base, like it's that same, I was talking to a friend about this, where they were talking about every time they were reading some blog that was like Substack or something, that every time you reach for your phone, ask yourself what you're avoiding. Right? So it's the same thing. Like, every time you buy something online, ask yourself what you're trying to like calm it within yourself. And you will find that there is something. Like, when you make this purchase, there is a baseline, like, at the bottom of all of it. This will make me, this will
feel a certain
complete,
way.
This will fix me, whatever it is, right? Whereas you could just do that shit yourself and buy it for enjoying the beauty of the product, which I think a lot of people do as well. But mostly consumerism is mindless at this point. Because production is mindless at this point as well, which is its own topic. You can buy the thing to simply appreciate it for what it is. And that's fine. But if you're doing it to quell something that's within you, I feel that's a little problematic, but I'm not sure. So, I mean, I'm no therapist, fuck it.
But coming back to how you feel about branding specifically, brand recognition, do you think brand consciousness has made style optional?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same thing as like anything. Like, it can even be, you can buy your way to like taste, like at least the optics of taste, very easily in any field, right? You can, if you can pay enough for the Coldplay tickets, you can show that you love Coldplay, whereas you know one song, as an example. If you have enough money, you can throw it at like buying, you know, every Tom Ford iteration of a perfume as opposed to buying like the dupes, right?
Yeah.
So you can like performative your taste all you want.
So it is performative.
Yeah, to some degree.
Taste
like,
is.
Yeah, so brands and all this is like signaling, right? So yeah, of course. Like I, for example, wear everything I make, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of designers who like get really like well off at some point and then they spend all their money on other designers. That makes no sense to me. I would just rather buy a new sewing machine that can do a new like action that I currently can't do, so that I can make something better that I can in turn wear and also distribute.
So Garuda makes clothes that you would wear then?
Yeah, I only wear Garuda. Like apart from the jockey underwear, I wear just Garuda pretty much.
TMI.
Yes. The handbags, the jackets, like like the rings. Like I mean, if the goal is to try and make everything.
Yeah.
We do want to make underwear someday. So yeah. Honestly.
But coming back to your social media, recently there was a whole, a little bit of a debate around your tags and Maison Margiela and the branding, right? A lot of purists came at you, right?
Yeah.
Would you say you're inspired by Margiela?
Not at all. Actually, like, the masks thing, like, as an example, like, if I took it from anywhere, it's probably Undercover, which is, they might have taken it from Margiela. But I think on our team, like, all of our team members, at least at the moment, don't really pay attention to European fashion, right?
Yeah.
We all mostly look at Japanese stuff. So as Undercover being a Japanese brand. And again, it's a pretty obvious thing that if you want to hide someone's face, you put a mask on them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's like you don't have to do too much mental gymnastics to get to that point, right? Also, like, again, like the fashion consumer or the commenter on Instagram or the creator on Instagram, their perspective is that fashion, which I can understand. I fully understand where this comes from, because there is brands that are just Pinterest brands, right? But their presumption is that design teams sit in a circle, like deciding how to rip things off effectively. Whereas, and that's the same thing with the Colibri thing, like when that reel happened, right?
Yeah.
The presumption there is that Prada or whoever is operating from like how do we steal this effectively, right? And how do we exploit effectively? Whereas most of the money I've made in my life is coming from delivering like satisfaction, not exploitation, right? And I believe that applies to most good design teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do not sit around theorizing how to effectively steal. So, I don't know. Things happen very organically.
That's what I'm saying, but it could be like part of your subconscious.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. But people came at you with like this thing of like,
oh, of course, we knew what we were doing.
Margiela.
Yeah, we knew what we were doing. It's fine.
Oh, it was ragebait?
Yeah, of course. It has 400,000 views. What do you think? What the hell? Like, yeah, I mean, once in a while we'll just do something like that because, like, we know how to do it. We just choose not to do it all the time, right? So we'll do it like once a quarter.
But at the same time, I would say that a lot of people do appropriate. Like, even with the Kolhapuri thing, I mean, I don't mean to beat a dead horse again.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just that a lot
of course.
Yeah.
You're right in that sense. And even like I hold the same opinion as you, but how much can I explain in 3 minutes on a reel, right?
Yeah.
I can't actually like explain all the like intricacies or the legalities of everything. So I just can give what I can give, right?
You had a very interesting response to the micro trend of Labubus.
Oh yeah. True, yeah.
You created the Garububu and the Gimp Bubu.
If you go back to our 2024 collection, I don't think Labubus existed as far as I'm aware. We, for the editorial of the show photo shoot, we created a life-size dummy out of like soft, like plushy toy material with canvas, right? And basically, we shot the entire campaign on this like life-size mannequin that we'd made, but not like a mannequin that you buy a dress formed for like fashion school. Like, it has limbs that could like bend and move and everything. And that was like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Then we made like a 4 feet tall version, which we called the buddy bag, right? Which was like theoretically pitched as like homeware. So you could use it as a cushion on your couch, right? Anyway. And then we were like, okay, what if we just scale that down one more time?
Yeah.
And then that became the Garuda. So it was just like reducing an idea that was old.
Yeah.
But yeah, timing wise, it just made too much sense to call it the Garuda. Yeah.
And the product description does say, money can buy you friendship.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a sense of humor is like a big part of the brand. Because
that's what I was getting at as well. Is that irony important to you? Or is that sort of sense of humor important to you as a designer? Or is it something that, are you almost too scared to be seen as someone who takes themselves too seriously as a designer?
No, I realize the stupidity of what I do.
Yeah.
I fully realize it. But my issue lies in the fact that I'm, one, good at what I do.
Yeah.
Two, have invested a lot of time into what I do, so I have sunken cost fallacy if I was to try and do something else.
Yeah.
And number three is that I don't really look at it as a job. Like, I do look at it somewhat as a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that if I have an idea, I'm simply unable to stop until it comes out into reality, right?
Yeah.
Like physical form. Whether that's glasses, whether that's clothes, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, I still do realize the stupidity of it. But I'm compelled, so I just continue, right? So, since I realize the stupidity of it, like, it's only natural to poke fun of it, right? And a large part of the brand is this, like, approach of balance, right? So, like, we believed initially that too many brands were making things that were too functional or not functional at all. And nothing in between, right? So, at the same time, too many brands take themselves too seriously or not seriously at all. So once in a while we poke a joke, and once in a while it's extremely serious. So it's always like this balancing act you're playing. Sometimes you can play the balancing act within a garment, right? So the garment can have a funny name or a funny anecdote, but the rest of it is very serious. But sometimes you have to play it in like this garment is serious, this garment is funny, and alternate or whatever you decide. So
it is somewhat your childlike wonder or whimsy that you do.
Yeah, big time.
I like that. So your handbag. What the fuck was that about?
We said we should make a handbag, so we made a handbag.
A handbag.
Yeah. So, there's been like this big like thing that we've always done, which is like a play on anatomy in the garments.
Yeah.
Right? So like the sleeve will never sit straight. It sits because your natural elbow is always bent, right? So the sleeve follows that. Like, it's a cut we developed. Then that eventually translated into us making random limbs, right? Like, into products. So we did this tooth bag a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's like a physical tooth, right? And it has like red strings coming out of it to imitate blood, right? Then that became eventually the handbag. So it's just that same idea, like getting pushed further and further.
Can we see you leaning more into this sort of surrealist, almost Dadaist sort of fashion? Because I see it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun here and there. Like, like I think it's important to have products that are grounded in reality and products that are completely surreal. So this is like the furthest we've gone with it. Where it goes in the future, who knows? You're
also the first person ever to whitewash a sari.
Oh, yeah. yeah. I was...
The zip-on, zip-off sari.
Yeah. So, again, I thought because it was our first time doing women's wear properly this year, last year, it was important for us to do, as a person who considers themselves to be decent at like redesigning Indian apparel, right? For a more like modern context, it was important to do a sari. Like, even as a statement, like we don't want to make it. Like, don't buy this shit. So honestly, the few that we've had to make cursed. We don't want to make this shit. We priced it in a way that we don't want it to sell. Honestly, I do not wish to make this piece, but it was important to make it for a narrative piece and a world building piece, which we do all the time. There's plenty of pieces that we make that we know are not going to sell. We don't want them to sell, but they tell a story of the brand. And it's important to take those losses that we have sunk like 10 days into making this, and no one's going to buy it. That's fine. But it communicates it like a story, right? One thing that I always thought about with the saris was, like, I remember growing up, like, watching my mom, like, wear saris, right? And my dad having to help her at certain points. I was like, how do I fix this so that she could just do it herself, in theory? So you can just zip around yourself, and it will drape exactly the same every single time. So it was like a problem-solving fix, right?
Yeah.
And then when we realized that we could zip it on, we realized we could also anti-clockwise zip it off, and all the structure could come up, and you could put it around your neck.
Yeah.
Like a Benny Gesserit Dune type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dream NBA player you'd like to dress in Garuda?
Nah. They're all kind of tall. The proportion wouldn't really work, to be honest. Honestly, like,
you're not having it.
I mean, we can custom make it for them, but like, I'm really trying to avoid custom making at this point in my career. Yeah. It's too much of a hassle. Yeah.
Okay. What does the term anti-fashion mean to you?
I have no idea. I think people have ruined it. People have ruined everything, to be fair. But I think
But you're inspired by someone like a Yoji Yamamoto, right?
So have you ever seen the movie Little Miss Sunshine?
No.
Okay. So it's this like movie where Steve Carell plays a serious role, right? And there's this it's like a family trip, like a road trip they take. And the little girl from the like family, she's reading a menu and it says ice cream a la mode.
Okay.
And Steve Carell explains that a la mode means in the fashion, right? I remember watching this when I was 15 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck can ice cream be in fashion? And then you go and look up the dictionary definition of fashion. It has nothing to do with clothes, right? It just says in trend, the thing that is in trend today. So, which is why I take so much of an issue with the word fashion. It has nothing to do with clothes. Anything can be in fashion. So anti-fashion to me, as a result, simply means that you're anti-trend. It doesn't result in what the clothes end up looking like. It doesn't end up in... It's a philosophy, not a process, right? That you simply are not interested in whatever's happening. You're interested in doing the thing that you are interested in doing for your own like self-actualization.
Yeah.
As opposed to the theory that this particular thing is selling really well for this other brand. Let's make our rendition of it, right? So, like, literal translation-wise, anti-fashion must mean anti-trend, simply put, right?
Okay. What happens when countercultures, or even, let's say, techwear?
Okay.
Because Gopko had a moment, right?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with it, right?
Sure. Let's see.
What happens when these countercultures get absorbed by the mainstream and become trends and then they stop being trends? What is anti-fashion then? Because what even is a trend at this point?
Well, I mean... yeah, okay. So the trend cycle, microtrends, all this has probably fucked up the whole definition a little bit. But what is... I think at the end of the day, it's not about... Zara, H&M, all this shit, they're going to do what they're going to do, right? WSGN is going to do what it does. You can't stop these like conglomerates from doing whatever their steamroll method is. But the real answer would be that let's say you are XYZ designer and you have been doing your thing for 10 years and suddenly the trend cycle thinks that this is good and every brand does this and then everyone leaves and moves on to the next thing. Do you stay here or do you start following, right? That's, I think, where the real test lies. And most good designers who have been doing this for so long are still going to keep doing what they're doing. Like, it's a very rare situation that I think, you know, like something that is anti-fashion eventually becomes, or anti-trend fully gets absorbed into like the fashion cycle.
Yeah.
Like they might see boosted sales, which I'm sure they're happy to have. They might see more stockists or whatever. That's great. And it might be tempting, but most designers I've seen, like techwear was a great example.
Yeah. Where do you think is going next though? I know, big, vague question, but what I mean by that is...
That's the thing, right?
What I mean by that is that we're already making reiterations of whatever's existed in the past, obviously, right? But now we're looking back at the last decade with nostalgia. So that's obviously quickened up more than it ever has been.
I mean, maybe it's going to go to everyone wearing spandex, honestly. I don't know.
That's what you wanted, isn't it?
Not really. Not particularly. I don't think I would thrive very well in that situation in the dating market, to be honest. So, no. The thing is, like, how much innovation can you really pull off, right? When the canvas is always the same. The canvas being, you have 2 arms and 2 legs. Everyone in this room has 2 arms and 2 legs. Like, what am I meant to do, right? Which is what our previous collection was about. That's why we did the handbag and the shoulder bag. Like, if we can add extra limbs to your body, then we can create something new. When we did that shirt with the 4 arms, as an example, or the shirt that had the lungs on the outside of the shirt. So that was us making this comment about how much innovation can you really pull off before it just becomes like a repeating cycle again and again, or like a snake that fucking eats its own tail type of thing, where when the canvas is never changing, right? Which is fine. I think, I mean, also personal style, like the whole like concept of finding your personal style is probably like a big factor here.
Yeah.
In everything you're discussing, in the sense that trend cycle is impacted by this whole like rush to find your personal style at the age of 25, or like just like speedrunning personal style. Where it takes like years, according to me. Like, I'm 32, shit still changes, right? Like, the cut of pants that I wear will still keep changing. I look back at shit I was wearing 3 years ago and I cringe, right? So I don't think you can speedrun personal style. And the concept of people trying to speedrun personal style is what's fucking the whole thing up, right?
Yeah.
It's what's resulting in so much content about like style. It's what's resulting in so much cycles of style. Like, what is the next Samba? And that's his fucking 50 shoes, right? And the problem is also that the brands pay attention to all this shit. So 50 brands will put out like, oh, here's an alternative to the Samba. Yeah.
Do you have fashion fatigue?
No, not really. Because I still enjoy what I do. And like, again, I explained, it's a compulsion. Like, I really believe that. I would do this shit for free.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would just make things for myself if I wasn't doing this. Like, I'm happy to go back to a 9-to-5 job and just do this shit for myself. Like, it really means nothing to me in that sense. My whole problem is that I just, like I said, if I have an idea, I need to make it exist. So yeah, I don't really have fashion fatigue. If my fashion fatigue exists in the sense that more and more often now I decide to hop into another medium like eyewear or footwear or whatever.
That's what you said last time as well.
Yeah.
You said you want to expand to doing like everything else.
Yeah, we're working on like furniture on the side.
Okay.
We're working on like, there's conversations happening about ceramics and all these things. Like, there's all sorts of shit going on. How much of it becomes commercially available, that's whatever. Again, because like I'm guessing I would have said the same thing because I say the same thing every fucking time, which is that stepping out of your usual medium is very helpful to understand how you do things in the usual medium.
Yeah.
So, because when you're working in the main medium, like, you are just operating on nature, right? You're not analyzing your process. Whereas when you go to this one, you can realize, oh, that's actually what I do here as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can pick up something from here and add it to here.
Yeah.
So it's useful to step out of it. So any of my fashion fatigue that exists is, instead of maybe doing one other product a year, I feel like doing 3. So like, we did eyewear in 2022. We did Humour in 2023, like an incense burner. We did footwear in 2023 and 2024. And this year, we're working on like a ceramic thing and a furniture thing. Whether they come out this year, I don't know. And we're also working on 3 different forms of eyewear now. So initially we did like a fancy plastic. This time we're doing acetate and aluminum as well.
Is what you're wearing, is that?
No, it's a different brand. So that's the only fashion fatigue that exists. Trying other things out. Otherwise, but like, I'm very happy whenever I come back to clothes. And the annual collection is like the most exciting time of the year to me. Like, my accountant doesn't call me. It's beautiful. Everyone leaves me the fuck alone. It's beautiful. Yeah.
When is it out this year?
It's usually sometime between September and October. We start working on it in June, July. So in June, July, like, there'll be a problem statement that we put out, and then we start working on an Excel file because we don't do mood boards. So everything's just an Excel.
What?
Yeah, we've never done a mood board. Yeah, interns join and they're just like, "What's going on here?"
Do they quit?
No, they love it. So we just work on like Excel and like other variations. Like, you would have seen Notion.
Yeah.
Like, so we work on like,
Notion. I hate Notion.
Yeah, we work on a different version of Notion.
Yeah.
So everything we do there's no visual, because if you can't remember the reference, there's no point in like putting it. Like, why are you putting it down? If it's not important, if it is important, it will stick in your mind.
Yeah.
So that's why we work on like no mood board. And you just watch the idea develop like organically in front of you.
Wow.
So yeah, June we'll come up with like so last year's one was all fashion brands theoretically cannot innovate because of the fact that the canvas is always the same, which is the human body. So what if we create a character who has more than 4 limbs? What does the clothing for that person look like? So yeah, it starts with a statement like that, and then it just builds from there. And then there'll be like a list of like 50 pieces that we'll write the names of or the fabrics of, and then that'll get whittled down all the way until, like, last year we ended up putting out 38.
To wrap it up, do you have anything to say to the people that ask you, are you a TikToker or are you a designer?
Crazy to hate on me for being multi-talented. Work on yourself, bro. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I will do whatever I have to do to keep this fucking shit show going.
As one should.
And yeah, I mean, at this point, like, yeah, I get to do a lot of things. It's fun. Like, my life is not monotonous. And and we have an amazing team, and
and he gets to be funny on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, those are your parting words.
Yeah. There's the other shit I can't say.